there's that. Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you live once again. Alright, so today we are going to talk about this guitar. A couple of days ago I did an unboxing video of this, which is linked right here if you haven't checked it out and you want to look at it. A lot of things I will say today probably will be, may have been said already during the unboxing video. Alright, so on to the guitar. Let's give you a close-up look. The Fender Strat headstock, arguably one of the best headstock design, right? I especially love when the strings go straight through the nut onto the tuning keys without a severe angle like the Jackson pointy headstocks. And maple fretboard, 22 jumbo frets, 25.5 inches scale length, Bengal tiger paint finish. It is not glossy, unfortunately. The pickup set, Fishman Fluence, 2000 series Floyd. It only dives, you cannot pull up. Alright, and it's a dinky body size, body style. The paint theme carries out to the back. No special heel joint right here. Maple fretboard. I mean maple satin neck. What the hell am I talking about? Unfortunately, they are not locking tuning keys. I guess with the Floyd, doesn't matter. But the locking keys are actually more or less for not having to wind strings as many times during string change, what have you. So there you go. That's kind of like the close-up look. I really dig the look of this guitar. So when Satchel moved from Kramer to Charvel, and when he showed up with this guitar on one of the gigs, I just said, oh shit, I'm gonna have to get me that if and when it becomes available. And lo and behold, before the NAMM show this year, I kind of was hoping that Charvel would announce this model being available, and they did, and I placed an order then, and it showed up this week. So that's the kind of a personal history on that guitar, personal history of the guitar as far as that's concerned. So Satchel and Steel Panther. So Satchel, whose actual name Russ Parrish, phenomenal guitar player. Perhaps he doesn't deserve as much respect as he should because he plays in Steel Panther, which is kind of a it's like a act, right? I mean, they are like 70% music and 30% comedy. They make fun of the 80s hair metal scene a little bit. Definitely not politically correct. Songs like Asian Hooker, get it? Me, Asian? You know, like the, what are some of the other songs and lyrics? Anyhow, so if you're not familiar, it's hilarious. You have to kind of play along with it, right? You can't get offended by stuff that they say, they do. Anyhow, so Russ, who's a phenomenal guitar player, who played actually guitar for Rob Halford when Rob was not with Judas Priest and was fronting his own band, The Fight. Anyhow, so Kramer, when he was with the Kramer, I kind of wanted that guitar, but something wasn't clicking right with the Kramer version of it. So I ended up not getting me one at the time, even though street price was like $650, I think. So it was competitive, but something didn't, I just couldn't quite do it, so I didn't. So then years later, I ended up getting this, which is street price is what, $13.99? So it's like twice more. My honest opinion, I think it is about $100, $150 overpriced. I think at $13.99, that's made in Mexico, which by the way, I'll get to made in Mexico thing in a bit. So at $13.99, I think the guitar should have come with at least stainless steel frets and maybe a little bit better version of Floyd. Now that said, I really can't fault a lot on this guitar. A lot of people, especially guitar snobs, they make fun of non-German Floyd. I don't know. The Korean ones, you know, they never, I mean, probably because of my skill level, maybe because I suck. Maybe that's why I'm not noticing a whole lot of difference, but there's no clunk in this tremolo, and you know, the other guitars with the Korean tremolos, I haven't had any issues. Floyd Rose trems, by the way. So that's that. Let's see. I think the guitar could have used a tone knob. I think if you don't dial in your amp correctly, I think it comes a little too hot, and you know, turning down the volume just a tad, turning down the tone control would have, I think, benefited on certain settings. I just like having that tone knob. I mean, if I don't want to use it, I'll, you know, whatever. But, you know, just taking it completely away is a bit of a, just my personal opinion. All right, so before I talk anymore, let's go listen. So earlier you listened to the bridge pickup. Now let's go listen to the neck pickup. Okay, so we're back. So the Fishman Fluence pickups, like it's all the rage right now, right? So like years and years ago, EMG was all the rage. Then the Duncan Blackouts were very popular. Then like the Bare Knuckles were really popular for a while. Now it's like everybody's using Fishman Fluence. I mean, what do we have? Kill Switch guys. The Will Adler of Lamb of God. I also have another guitar from ESP Ltd that's got Fishman Fluence that has voicing toggle switch, by the way, to go from voicing 1 to voicing 2. And you know, Fishman Fluence again in this particular guitar, active pickups, tremendous headroom if you can take advantage of it. Again, at my skill level, you know, it's asinine for me to sit here and say, you know, this pickup is better in this way, this pickup is better in that way. You know, that's little out of line if you ask me. I'm just a regular guy, mostly a poser. So I'm just sharing with you what I go through, what I experienced as a guy that struggles to practice, find time to do anything. So in my opinion, still great headroom. So a lot to play with there, and the tone is a lot more organic than, say, your typical EMG 81 and 60 pickup set. Of course, EMG kind of has come out and tried to remedy their, you know, reputation by doing the 5766 set as well as a retroactive set. But anyhow, the Fishman Fluence is very warm, organic, punchy without sounding harsh. But of course, me being me, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I have the ears to really dial in tone correctly, and what I hear in the amp never translate to the recording, so there's another problem. But punch, not harsh. I think the neck pickup recording may have come out a bit harsh, but that's not fault of the pickup necessarily. So that, and you know, I wish the body was glossy finish. I think that would have really made the guitar pop. The The fretwork is just impeccable. There's nothing that sticks out, unlike the EVH striped series guitar that I have. That thing, fret wires are sticking out so far out. I mean, it's literally slicing my hand every time I go up and down the neck. No problem with this particular neck. The satin neck is beautiful, smooth. It just glides over. Excellent. What else to talk about this guitar? So I just love the fact that the guitar came out with the Fishman Fluence, which apparently Satchel is using. It's a kind of a step away from your typical pickup set that you could get from you know, shreddy guitar, like the Duncans and the Marzios and, you know, EMGs, what have you. Not that those are bad, those are great pickups, but I just think that it's great that as a consumer there's an option that I could go with something different than some, you know, that's commonly found on like 90% of guitars out there. So that's that. You know, like I said earlier, it's a dinky body style, body size, but it's very substantial. I don't feel like it's a smaller than regular, you know, double cut guitar like the, you know, Soloist and even my Charvel SoCal. It's substantial, yet obviously not heavy in any stretch of imagination. It's great. And you know, the whole Charvel neck, it's not as thin as Ibanez, I don't think, and the neck has a pretty decent shoulder on like this edge and that edge, where, you know, there's enough meat there for you to hold on to, and yet it maintains this very thin profile, which to me is great, because I got a small hand, short fingers, so that I personally prefer thinner necks. And to me, you know, Charvel necks, just one of the really better necks, easier necks to play on, if you ask me, and just a joy. And with this tried and true body shape, well, you know, with the things like the belly cut right here, as well as the forearm contour, it's just really easy to just sit down and you're watching movie and you could just kind of, you know, do your scale runs and what have you. It's just very easy, very pleasant to work with. Me, you know, I'm not a touring guitar player or anything. I just kind of mess around and noodle around in the house, and just really a fantastic instrument, fantastic, you know, equipment that you can work with. As you guys know, I buy all the guitars. You know, I don't put my hand out to anyone for you know, loaner or anything like that. So when I buy a guitar, it's because I like it. And in a situation like this where I'm buying it, I placed an order after I saw it at the NAMM show. And you know, at the NAMM show, it's not really the best place to really test out a guitar, but you know, I liked it enough, so I just ordered it right there then. So when it shows up and it's as good as you expect it to be, it's always a bonus. It's gonna be one of those guitars that I don't ever part with. It's gonna be something that I keep until I get buried, most likely. Something of that nature. Anyhow, so you know, I look at stuff like the fret wires are sticking out, and you know, whether the neck is straight and that kind of obvious things. But like way the three-way toggle switch, you know, the way it clicks on, the way it feels when you're throwing it, the short throw switch feels pretty good. The volume knob has a pretty decent resistance, yet easy to roll. There is no play when you move it around, which is again a sign of a good craftsmanship. So, made in Mexico. A lot of guitar snobs turn their nose on non-USA guitars. I don't know if that's really justified anymore. This guitar made in Mexico, every bit good as my USA Charvel, USA Gibsons, USA PRSs. The fit and finish, the craftsmanship is so on point, and you kind of expect that good of craftsmanship and build quality when you're forking out $13.99 on a guitar. And the guitar does not disappoint. It is extremely well put together. Even though I do feel that it is just a tad bit overpriced, it's still a great guitar. If this type of thing calls your name. Me, I was born early 70s. I grew up in the 80s. You know, as much as I love Lamb of God and Hatebreed and Triviums and Machine Head, you know, I also grew up listening to Poison and, you know, Winger, Warrant, you know, stuff like that. Which is, Steel Panther is the epitome of that they're, you know, they're reliving that era of music, which is why the guitar looks this way. So, you know, I look at something like this, I think of, you know, C.C. DeVille and all the guys, you know, the 80s hair metal guitar players with the puffed out hair, with the Aquanet hairspray and all that good shit, right? So this guitar just brings me back memories. Even though it's a 2018 guitar, this might as well give me memories from 1988. That's what I'm saying. So I really love this guitar. If you were thinking about getting this guitar, and if the price tag does not bother you, comes with a high recommendation from yours truly, Triple G. All right, so that's it for this gear chat. Until next time, you guys all take care. Thank you.